Friends, first of all, let me thank each one of these panelists who actually made to feel that AI is very simple. It is not complicated. It cannot be complicated than a CA curriculum. And it's been very simple and subtly done with live examples every time on different aspects. Most of the time, people are thinking that the programs which are being conducted by ICAI are focused on only practicing member. But this particular sessions which we have done were not for only practicing sessions, but also for the people who are working in industry, people who are decision makers, people who are business owners. They also have watched these videos and understood how simplified accounting, tax, and compliance can be. And that is a message which we try to give you all.
Thank you, Chairman Sir, for giving the overview of activities of AI in ICAI. And this is the first time the committee has been formed by ICAI under the leadership of Daya Sir. Thanks to our President Ranjit Sir and Charanjot Singh Ji Nanda Sir. And now the terms, every panelist will be given 10 minutes to present the use case, and 5 minutes will be given for the juries to throw their queries, throw their questions to the panelist, and they will have to give their answer so that they can justify their use case. So now let's move toward the next panelist, who is Dhananjay Gokhale. He is a chartered accountant from Nagpur, and please request tech team to present data analytic and financial consolidation member, a chartered accountant, Dhananjay Gokhale. Over to you, Dhananjay.
Thank you, Umesh sir. So I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible. You can start.
Yeah. So let me quickly share my screen and start with presentation. I will quickly wrap up with presentation. Okay. So in the last hackathon, I demonstrated that how you can use natural language prompt and literally dictate bare act thing to calculate income tax. So I demonstrated how to give Copilot command of bare act. Okay. Now this time I'm going to demonstrate blunt prompts. Now what do you mean by blunt prompt? So it is a prompt where your question is question is precise, but it has to search for answers. Okay. And the underlying data is not in this format which easily prompt can correlate. But AI will simply search for the data and try to interpret it to match the gap. Okay. So I'm using two platforms here, Microsoft Copilot ultimately, which is powered by ChatGPT only. And for backup, I have Google Gemini. If time permits, I will demonstrate even in Google Gemini how to achieve this. Yes, and now the disclaimers. So many times I have seen when you ask similar question multiple times, LLM sometimes generate different answer. Okay, so this can also happen. So this is a disclaimer from my head, and always check for answer. It might not be correct. Like behind the science, I had to tune it 2 or 3 times to get the correct answer. Okay, so now my case study. So let me show. Okay, this time I'm continuing the same thing, that how to use AI to generate formulas, Excel complex Excel formula. And I have chosen profession tax of Maharashtra for this. Deliberately, I chose Maharashtra because Maharashtra has a complexity. So it has to first, we have to look whether female or male. Again, for female, there are 2 slabs. And again, inside a slab, there is another slab that if month is 300, means month is February, then tax is 300 for month, otherwise 200 for remaining months. Okay, and for male, there are 3 conditions. Okay, and this time I am not going to use something like this. I have this for backup, but this time I am going to use multi-model prompt, not a NLP prompt. Okay, language processing. I will be using multi-model prompt. Okay, so let me show you what multi-model prompt is. So I'm here on my Copilot. Okay, first characteristic of multi-model prompt is that first you need to show it some data. Okay. So let me open my profession tax file. Okay, and let me zoom this. Okay, now if you see, I have some sensitive data. Okay, so this is PII. Don't worry, this is a dummy data. So it is a fake data, but never expose personally identifiable information. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to literally duplicate this sheet. Okay, and remove this employee name column. Okay, now this is fine. Now we will expose this data to AI. Okay, so I am going to say to Copilot. Okay, and Copilot has 3 modes. I want precise answers. Okay, so it will think more. So first, I will say that I have some data in Excel as below. Okay, as below, shift enter. Now I need to paste some portion of my data. Okay, now unfortunately, you cannot directly copy paste data like this because it gets jumbled up. So I will use Notepad so that it remains in tabular format. And you don't need to expose entire data. Okay, 15-20 rows, that is enough. Okay, so let me paste it here, something like this. Again, I will copy this. Now it can be very easily pasted here. Okay, Control V. Okay. Okay, I will submit this to Copilot. So it will analyze this data first. Okay, so it analyzed this data. Now I'm going to ask Copilot that I want to calculate tax. Okay, profession tax from this. And what are the conditions? These are the conditions. Okay, now I am not going to dictate any condition like NLP. What I am going, so this time I am a bit more lazy. Okay, I am just going to grab screenshot of this. Okay, I'll simply grab screenshot like this using Windows screenshot taker. Okay, I will simply grab screenshot. Let's see if my screenshot is ready. Okay, sometimes you will have to struggle a bit. So I will simply press print screen. Okay, print screen and paste it into Paint. Okay, paste it. Okay, good. This looks good. Crop. Perfect. Okay, let me save this on the desktop and I will literally upload this thing. Okay, tax calculation. Okay, now I'm going to say that I want to generate Excel formula, okay, to calculate tax based on the conditions attached in the image. Okay, attach in the image. Okay, and I'm going to attach the image. Okay, upload from this image and tags. Okay, so what I did, I simply grabbed screenshot of image of this and I told that now from this image there is a table and now please interpret this and generate me an Excel formula. Okay, let's see what happened. Sometimes the results are very terrible. Even I have to try it 2 or 3 times. Okay, now if you see, it did generated a formula. Okay. Okay, now you need to revise this formula bit. Okay, like in our data, there was gender in M and F and date written here. Okay, so I'm going to say that gender column contains, or I will say that in gender column, F is equal to female. Okay, and M is equal to male. Kindly revise this formula considering this. Okay, let's see. Now we are slowly improving the formula. Okay, can you see? Now instead of
Attention, last 2 minutes left.
last 2 minutes. Okay, now instead of this, it made. Now I'm saying in revise this formula to extracting month from date column. Okay. Now it will improve this even further. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Now this formula we can copy paste. Let's wait. I will simply press copy button. Okay, and go here and I can paste it here. Okay, let me copy it. Control V, paste. Okay, again you have to route it through Notepad. Okay, some spaces, extra spaces. Don't worry about that. Okay, sometimes it fails to close its brackets, but overall this formula is correct. Okay, overall this formula is correct. Sometimes this formula you'll have to check that whether any brackets is missing or not. Okay. So some fine tuning again required. You have to try it twice, thrice. Again, I said when I tried it, it came correct. Sometimes it again gives incorrect. But this way, at least it will help you to draft a formula. Yes, I think I am over with this.
Yeah, thank you, Dhananjay. And you have taken the very important formula of profession tax, and I will request our juries to open their queries. Yeah, Manu
Thank
sir.
you. Yes, Umesh bhai. Dhananjay, I think a nice presentation. Basically, I think you were a bit short of time because Excel sometimes misbehaves or this does not give the answer in one shot. But I think you showed us actually how to do it. That's good enough. And I think you will also agree that for this, a reasonable knowledge of Excel is also required. You do not have to know the formula, but you have to know how to correct it. You have to know and keep on asking the appropriate question. That is probably one limitation, that you have to apply your mind, keep on asking the correct question, asking which row, which column to modify, where your formula does not, like the F and M ki jagah female, male was there, and all those things. These are some of the limitations, I believe, in this.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Okay. Thank you. On my side.
Yeah, Mayur.
Yes, sir. So my question, thank you, Dhananjay. Very nice presentation, very complex structure. You tried to present in a simplest way, and really Maharashtra is having a complex structure. But to add few things here, how can we use the same structure in other output files, which like professional use for GST and income tax calculation? Is the same thing is applicable? There also no harm.
Sir, same thing. You have to describe some rows of data and don't expose any of your sensitive or private data. And it will just generate a structure of formula. And then you can again add back all the columns. So basically, yes, again, you need something like I represented this in a table. Maybe sometime you have to use flowcharts, or maybe sometimes you have to even type it and it will interpret. Like in this case, in the first instance, it came correct. Yesterday I tried, but sometimes it will generate things. So you have to keep on asking, but definitely 4 to 5 tries, it generates very nice formula.
So it seems like a solution for a lazy man, so that you just keep on extracting the data as per your convenience. Okay.
Yeah, and you have to do black box testing again.
So one more follow-up question, whether we can use any type of infographic image, not just a tabular format, even if it is in some different infographic format, whether it will fetch and retrieve the data?
Just, sir, AI can means extract text and tables from it. Okay. And even flowcharts I have seen sometime in flowchart if you represent, or even if you draw on some paper and with very nice arrows, sometime even that also becomes successful. But only thing, your drawing should be very good. But yes, definitely tries to read that and interpret it.
No, no, really appreciate something innovative thing you have shared here, that even a paper or some unorganized way of information, if you can present on the system, we can retrieve the data.
Okay.
I am done. Thank you.
Yeah.
And another
So-
good thing, I think, Dhananjay, which you also spoke about, is not to share the actual data, share the format only, because in these days, data privacy is also of great importance. So that, I think, is an important point which we should all always remember.
Yes, sir. So that's
Again,
why I
Manu sir,
modified the file.
Manu sir, again, sir, the thing was also nice, no, sir. You can just crop the relevant item which you want to assess it from anywhere. Something you get on a paper
No,
also.
that was great. That was great. Just an image, and that image is sufficient. So it reduces our work.
Yeah.
Good.
So thank you, Dhananjay. Thank you, Manu sir and Mayurji. And Dhananjay, you have used Copilot. It's a licensed version. So
Yeah,
please go for it, and then you can use